This tutorial explains how to design labels for CD, DVD, and Blu-ray discs in Swift Publisher. Our starting point is the template gallery. It opens up automatically when you run the program. To display it again, choose File, New from the menu. You can choose a pre-designed template or a blank one to start from scratch. Apart from the disc label, templates normally contain case covers, inserts, spines, and other elements of a disc, so-called design elements. Let's choose this template to create a label for a music disc. Use the toolbar to switch between design elements, add or delete them. Before we start editing the design, we need to select a disc tray or paper type for each element, since this may change the element's size and affect the design. Click on the Change Layout button in the inspector. You can see that Swift Publisher supports plenty of printers and papers. Use the drop-down list to narrow down the choice, or use the Search field. In our tutorial, we'll print directly on a disc using the Epson R800. To select a compatible tray, type R800 and click on OK to apply. To set up the layout for another element, select it and click on the Change Layout button again. As printable discs from different manufacturers may have different sizes of the printable area, you may want to tweak the disc size in the inspector. Measure the external and internal diameters of the printable area and fill in the Sizes field. Now we're ready to edit the design. Since editing of text and images is described in detail in other tutorials, let's move on to the features which are unique to disc label documents. Swift Publisher is integrated with iTunes and Apple Photos, allowing you to use details from your audio and photo libraries in your design. I'm adding a new design element just to have more free space. To open the Import dialog, click on this toolbar button. By default, the dialog displays your iTunes library. To switch to the Photos library, use the drop-down menu. In the Import dialog, you can select artists, albums, or individual audio tracks. If you select several tracks and click Import, they will be available in your design. The Format list lets you choose which information to display for each track, such as track number, artist, album, etc. If you decide to change the list of tracks or their formatting, delete the text block and repeat the import process. As soon as your design is finished, click the Print button on the toolbar to print the active design element. The Print dialog will come up. The Media pop-up menu lets us choose plain paper, one of the recently used layouts, or open the list of all supported trays and paper stocks. This is the same list which we opened using the Change Layout button in the inspector. The Quantity field replaces the standard field Copies. To print 2 copies of your design, type 2 in Quantity. The second copy appears on a new page in the preview. Some paper layouts contain several identical elements, for example, 2 disc labels. Use the Start from Place field to choose which label to print. In order to skip the first position, type 2 into the field. As a result, the current label jumped to the second position. Let's switch back to the disc tray and go through the rest of the settings by clicking on the Options button. Here you can activate printing cut marks and dotted outlines if you're using the paper that wasn't perforated for easy separation. If after printing, the resulting image is offset relative to your disc or label, use the horizontal and vertical offset fields to adjust the output. For instance, if the label was printed 5 mm higher than needed, type -5 into the vertical offset field. You may need to calibrate each printer you have individually. The program saves the calibration values along with the printer name. So whenever you select one of your printers, the printer calibration values are applied. Direct-on-disc printing requires checking a couple more options. Make sure Default Settings is selected in the Presets drop-down menu. Then open the print settings. Note that the category name may vary from one printer developer to another. Make sure that CD/DVD is selected in the Media Type drop-down menu. When you're going to print on paper with coatings, such as photo or glossy paper, it is recommended that you specify the proper type in this menu. Finally, click on the Print button to print the label.